So finally, we are getting to the last topic of this course, and that's measuring the campaign results. So once you have set up your campaign, chosen your campaign goal, you have created either one or multiple ad sets with your target audience and placements, then created ads, and I suggest to creating at least 4 different ads under each ad set, and you have launched the campaign, then you can, after a select amount of time, analyze the results. And I suggest spending at least 7 days for consistency, and budget-wise, it depends of how limited or unlimited you are in your budget. Either it's $10 per day or $100 per day. After 7 days, you will exactly know what results have you gotten from this campaign, and you could even see results after 1 day, but give the campaign time to optimize. So the optimal time is at least 7 days, but if you are limited in your budget and constrained, give it 3 days, and then you can start having the first steps to optimize your campaigns. And how you can do it is basically the same place where you build the ads inside of the ads manager. So here on the screen, you can see that there's 2 active campaigns. Now let's take a look at what you can actually find there and what you should pay the attention to understand how they have been performing. So first of all, you can check their performance. You can immediately see in either the columns, like in the previous slide, so you can see the cost per result, impressions, results, the budget, etc. But you can also click on each campaign in the View Insights tab, and you can, for example, see the specific performance of this campaign during the time, how many results did it get, how much did each results cost, etc. Then you can see the demographics. So for example, how many women or men saw the ad in different age groups, and how many women or men actually bought the product, also in different age groups. And here, for example, I can see that this ad has reached a lot of women, but not a lot of women actually converted. And I can also see that this ad reached smaller amounts of men. So only 30% of this ad was shown to men, but the conversions are way higher. So I can see that there's probably higher potential for this campaign to be shown to men. So immediately I would think about how can I iterate my next campaigns, and maybe I would just choose to show this campaign to men in the future, from age groups to 25 to 54, because I see that they are converting way higher than the women in the same age groups. So maybe I would even then tailor my message and offer directly and specifically to men, target only men, and see how that would work. And one thing you have to remember in marketing, that there's a lot of testing, a lot of theorizing, a lot of strategizing, and a lot of different split tests and iterations in a set amount of time in order for you to get to this end result. So it's constant optimization. Don't be afraid, or don't expect the first campaign to be immediate success. So you can start with smaller budgets, you can try to figure things out, make assumptions, tailor different messages to different audiences, and test what works and what doesn't work. Also, you can take a look at placements. So for example, here you can see that the Meta has spent most of the budget on Facebook and almost no budget on Messenger and Instagram. So in this case, you can create, for example, 2 different campaigns or 2 different ad sets, I would even say. And in both of those ad sets, just split tests. You can leave everything the same, but the placements. And in the placements, you can go and check one ad set only for Facebook and one ad set only with Instagram enabled, and then split test and see which one converts the best. Or of course, you can just use automatic placements and let Meta optimize this campaign automatically, because maybe by Meta's data, there's just more conversions and there's just more potential for Facebook. So once you're in your ads manager, you can also customize your ads report. So those are the columns that you see and the data that you can check what's important for you. And there's a couple of different reports you could consider. The first one is the performance. So this, in my opinion, is the most important report to consider, because here you will see the metrics that are valuable to you. How many results the campaign got, what's the reach, what's the frequency and impressions of a select campaign. Then there's engagement reports, and here we can see the more social report of, for example, how many page posts, messaging, media clicks and awareness these ads have gotten. So these metrics are better for awareness and engagement campaigns, branding campaigns, let's say. Then we have conversions, and here these ones are even more important if you are e-com business, because here you can see how many conversions, website purchases, or mobile app installs have been generated by the campaign. And if you're a e-com business or if you're promoting an app, those are the most valuable metrics that you should take a look at. And finally, the settings. So here you can just find things like campaign ID, ad set ID, the delivery, bids, and objectives. So a little bit more technical things, which could be important if you are just conversating with your ad agency or with your performance person in your team, so you'd understand which ad set or ads are they referring to, because each campaign, each ad set, each ad have their unique IDs, unique strings of numbers, which are represented by specific ads. And each ad, each campaign, each ad set have their own unique identification numbers. So finally, let's take a look at performance metrics. The metrics, so we can see how good or bad your campaign has performed. If you are an e-com business, the website purchases should be your main performance metric. If you are a service provider, then leads and form leads should be the metrics you should take a look at, or custom conversions. So when we are talking about standard events, and remember there were 17 of them, you can consider all of those as these metrics that you would like to track or optimize for. But there's also such a thing which is called custom conversions. And those are custom conversions that you are setting up yourself that are based on some standard events, but they are not exactly those. And you can also optimize for them if you have created them, but for the sakes of simplicity of this course, we will not touch them. So just basically take into consideration the standard events and the amount of standard events that the campaign has generated. Then there's the cost per result. So this is also very important because you want to know exactly how much money did you spend to get that one conversion. How much money did you spend to get that lead, or to get that purchase, or to get that registration. And once you know how expensive or cheap was that purchase or lead, you can then think, okay, does it make sense? Is it within my KPIs? Should I increase the budget because I'm getting cheap conversions? Or should I lower it? Or maybe just test other things because it's too expensive and I cannot afford to keep this campaign up with these cost per conversions. And cost per result is also referred as cost per acquisition. So how much money did it take for you to convert one user into a lead or a buyer? And it's also a very important metric. Then there is the ROAS, return on ad spend. So basically this is a metric very important for e-com owners, and it represents how much money did you get for each euro or dollar or unit of currency that you have invested. And the higher the number, the better. So for example, if your ROAS is 2, means for every dollar you have invested, you will get $2 back. If your ROAS is 4, for every dollar you invested, you get $4 back. So the higher the number, the more lucrative this campaign is, and the more budget I advise you to invest in this campaign. Then there is impressions. The impressions is a metric that shows how many times your ad has been shown to your target audience. Not to unique people, but impressions. How many times has been shown in total, because some of users will see this ad multiple times. Then there's CPM. This is cost per 1,000 impressions. How much money do you spend to show your ad 1,000 times? Then there's frequency. This means how many times has your target audience seen your ad on average. So one user, how many times on average has it seen your ad? And frequency is also an important metric to keep an eye on, because there's this point of diminishing returns. It, of course, depends on a product or on service, but usually there's a curve of the times the ad has been seen, for example, and on the horizontal axis, time, right? So at first, over the time, there will be time where for every time that the user has seen the ad, the chances of them will increase to convert. But at a certain time, for example, if they have seen ad like 8 or 9 or 10 times, it will start decreasing because the ad will start to get annoying, right? You don't want to keep seeing the same ad 10 and 20 times because it just is not relevant for you. If you haven't clicked the first time, why would you do it the 20th time? On the other hand, lower frequency, like 2 or 3 or 4, could be beneficial because maybe you would see the ad one time and then you would think about it. Second time you would consider it. Third time you actually want to click but you forgot about it, you were distracted, and the fourth time might be the key. So my suggestion is to keep your frequency less than 10 ideally, but I have also got some ads that work really well with 10 plus frequency. So once again, it's just a matter of testing and a matter of seeing what works the best for you. Then we have the engagement metrics, and the first one is the link clicks. So this is one of the top funnel metrics that I would take a look at if I would be constrained in my ad spend. So if I wouldn't have a lot of ad spend and I wouldn't have enough conversions to measure the effectiveness of my ads, I would take a look at link clicks. So just make split tests of many different ad sets, for example, and to test different audiences. Run them for a week, maybe $10 each or $100 each, and after 1 week to see which campaign had the most link clicks. Well, actually, if you have $100 per each ad set, definitely go for conversions option. But if you have a smaller budget, $3 to $10 per day, then you can also use link clicks to see just which campaign gathered more clicks, and that's how you could get a sense of what works and what doesn't work. Then there is link click-through rate, also an important metric, and this one states how many people clicked after seeing your ad out of 100 people. So if you show your ad to 100 people, how many of them actually click percentage-wise? And then there's different, let's say, benchmarks for click-through rates. I would say anything that's about 2% click-through rate is good, considered to be good. Everything that's below 2% click-through rate, I would suggest to improving it. If it's below 1%, definitely improve it. If it's 1 to 2%, you can work with it depending on the campaign. If it's above 2 and above 3, it's a good campaign, and you should definitely make iterations based on these tests, because obviously sometimes something's working there. Then there's post engagement, a simple metric that just shows how engaging your ad is, how many people clicked, commented, liked, or shared this ad. And thank you for attending this course. I hope that these lessons have been valuable to you, and I wish you all the best of luck to build successful campaigns and to sell as many products as you can or gather as many leads as you can for your business. So thank you very much, and I wish you all the best. See you.